I ain't lying. You know what we do, man.
Welcome again, folks, to the Awakening Real Talk 101, the Gangsters channel. Black History Month. We might be talking about this shit all month. And I know I wanted to do a video with Black versus Africans, but I did delay it. I'm gonna have to get back to that. But I see it's a necessary to keep pushing out the Black History Month, and hopefully this inspire or give someone a topic who can also alleviate on it a little bit more. And let me just start off by saying this. How could people respect our history when they keep giving us, when you keep endorsing and encouraging us to do a watered down version of our Black history? How could people respect our history when you tell them that they was the first people to do this and do that? That doesn't matter anymore. What matters is, just like you would say, we need to get over it. It don't matter anymore. To say what our accomplishments and who was the first person to do this and first person to do that, it absolutely means nothing when you're not having that in your grasp today. It doesn't mean nothing. Now we can see, for an example, we can understand and see that the Jewish Holocaust victims, when you see their history, they always show you the horrific part of their history, so people will never forget what they went through. So how could we be respected on their level when we keep allowing ourselves to dish out a watered down version of our Black history that nobody respects? All you guys was doing is picking cotton. That's nothing. All you guys was doing was getting whipped and running away. That's nothing. How could people respect our history when you are allowing them to give us a watered down version? No one will respect that. No one will have empathy for us when we're still talking about the first man to do 5 push-ups and the first black man to drive a NASCAR race car. The first man was to do a cartwheel, and all of that doesn't mean anything now. You are brainwashing our kids with that foolishness. That is foolishness only. And I'm saying this because if you're gonna do a Black history, you need not to take away that which our ancestors went through, the hell that they went through. And I don't even respect these black folks because a lot of them are busters, a lot of them are coon, and a lot of them are not one of us to tell us our story, to help promote a watered down version. You need a nigga like me to tell it what it is, to explain our Black history, to honor and respect and give grievance to what our ancestors went through. The description is down so you can get an understanding. Because our Black History Month, it needs to be reformed. And I'm going to say it again. It needs to be reformed because we keep giving the world who will look at us as it's nothing. And don't tell me that they're not thinking that, because I've encountered a few of them who also, because they was ignorant to our history, to our ancestors who died, who went through hell being in a hellish place. Some of the stories will bring tears to our eyes, and we will respect our blackness if only we knew. So Black History Month needs to be reformed. It needs to be quickened, brought up out of the watered down estate that it's in, to where now it becomes an event to be merchandised. Black History Month needs to be reformed. We need to go dig into the putting our ancestors into hot boiling sugarcane oil. Literally. We need to bring out some of these stories where people were castrated. People had their penis set in the jars and all this other stuff. You need to exploit our true Black history, to show the world the horrors and why we're still complaining because there hasn't been any justice yet. Our Black History Month has been watered down by those who represent black people, but really they don't have love for black people. Because if a nigga like me was to bring this up, they would look at me as a tyrant or someone who is racist. Someone who they will say, he don't know what he talking about. Why he want to bring up that old stuff? Because it needs to be reformed. That's why. Our Black History Month is a mockery. The first man to jump in the air. The first black man to do this and the black man to do that. That means nothing and it's considered mockery. Because who has all the dollars in their hand now from that inventions? Not us. You may see Uncle Ben's face on the cover over a box of rice. Who's owning it? The nigga who cooked the rice, who made the rice with his face on it, put him in slavery. Put him in slavery to where his face on the box is making that man who owns it now money. Indeed, Black History Month needs to be reformed. And it's too many of you coons, too many of you people who pretending that you love black, but when I bring up this, you will be the first ones to say we need to get over it. But yet you try to make merchandise of our history. Stop giving our children the watered down version. Stop showing them being as nothing but slaves, carrying out as butlers. I despise every one of you. And a lot of you are not one of us. And this is why you have control of our black history. And this is why you're showing the watered down version. Leave it to a nigga like me. Ain't gonna be no watered down version. And YouTube and its constituents who love to overlook other people's stuff and who also loves to intervene in other people's videos because they are two busters. And we're going to keep pushing out this Black History Month. And I can probably find some details. And YouTube, as the cronies that they are, not YouTube as a corporation, but the people who act as a creep, a foot soldier, to make it where they'll lock the door on some content because they have the ability to do it. So now here we are. They probably will say it's offensive. Some crony will, who we got YouTube agents surfing around the comments, who will flag your video without YouTube even observing it, which they did on one of my videos. When you go back and you see other people talking about the same thing, but their videos are not banned. So why did my video get banned? When we dealing with the mark of the beast because people think some medicine was all of that. When I'm telling you, it's the image of a man who you take on the likeness of. And a lot of you people who's in control of our black history, you have the mark of the beast. You share the likeness of this man, of this beast. And we're going to keep talking about this Black History Month. Holla.